If you have ever thought about you and your friends making a movie, this would be that movie. Grown Up starts off with a black joke, which as a black man I approve. Fast forward and we meet Lenny and his family. Lenny is rich, which means he has spoiled kids. Texting your nanny to bring you shit is beyond spoiled. And then that one kid started to shout at her. Ah, man. Eric the fat guy, his first joke is him breaking their pool because he is fat. And you know what? He isn't that fat. Maybe back then this is considered very fat, but I guess nowadays this would be skinny, I guess, in America. Kurt, the black house husband, that's his whole shtick. Marcus, the guy who still thinks he is in his early 20s. And Rob, the half Asian guy that is dating a grandma. This is an elite friend group. A fat guy, a black guy, a half Asian, a drunk guy, and Lenny. Racist jokes, fat jokes, drunk jokes, Asian jokes. The only thing they're missing is a gay person. You know, sprinkle in some homophobia and that would be the perfect group. They all met up because their coach passed away. Comedy movies are really not made like this anymore. It really does feel like the instructions here were, you are all comedians, go be funny, which only works for so long, or the writing for the jokes was just bad in this movie. Either way, there is a lot of bad jokes. However, there is still some good moments, some good jokes. Eric's son still drinking milk from the source at his big age. Rob's third daughter not being as attractive as his other daughters. Not saying that she is funny because of how she looks, it's more so how she was presented. Those two and you have her, you know, it's funny. Lenny saying that their nanny is an exchange student for the whole time. I loved this joke because the nanny was just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Kurt had a black off verse, the other black guy in the movie.
When white people see me coming in this store, they get scared. Yeah, when white people see me coming into the store, they run, okay?
You love to see it. Rob tongue touching his girlfriend slash grandma girlfriend. This was a little bit funny, but also just very nasty. But there's a lot of moments and scenes where they are spitting off jokes rapidly that are just not funny at all. Like here, like just for some examples. In 2010, I was 6 years old, so maybe a few jokes went over my head, but as I said, a lot of scenes seem like they were just told to be funny. But this movie does have some sort of purity because of that. The one aspect they did extremely well is creating a wholesome vibe. The chemistry with the cast is clearly there. You can feel that good vibes of friends just being friends. That summertime feeling. Seeing Lenny's kids play outside and be in touch was cool, even though I hate when parents complain about their kids being out of touch when they are buying them phones and games. You are also part of the problem. The little drama in the movie is inconsequential. Roxanne finding out that Lenny canceled their flights to Milan. So what? Kurt is standing up to his wife. Rob accuses Marcus of sleeping with his daughters. All this had no impact to the movie. This is a movie that was made to be carried by its comedy because, you know, it's a comedy movie. Unfortunately, the comedy part of it is just not good enough to carry it to the promised land. I gave it a 6 out of 10. As I'm reading this script right now, it does feel like more of a 5 out of 10. So, I mean, 5 to 6 out of 10 isn't amazing, but like, you know, it's a good time. You gotta love Adam Sandler because he has been wearing the same clothes for the last 20 years. Baggy XXL clothes. You just gotta respect that. I wanted to watch this movie because as a kid, I remember watching this and being like, this is really fun and funny. But obviously, as you get older, you start to see the flaws in movies and why they're not as good as you thought. As I said, this movie does still have that wholesome summertime friends hanging out vibe, which is cool and I appreciate that. I just wish a little less improv in some of those scenes, or I guess better writing, because it does feel like Adam Sandler just brought all his friends and just had a good time, which I do appreciate to some extent, but a lot of the jokes were just not that good.